Super Mario Odyssey, the game that everyone's been talking about, the game that's been getting 10 out of 10, even 6 out of 5 from some critics, is finally here. If you haven't bought the game yet, you're probably wondering, is it really that good? The short answer, yes. Does the game have its flaws? Yes. Do those flaws make it undeserving of its positive reviews? Of course not. Super Mario Odyssey starts off just as you may expect any other 3D Mario platformer to do. You have your classic cutscenes play, but this time there's a twist. Your new friend Cappy finds Mario passed out on the ground in some sort of city. Then you learn how to use Cappy to break items, move around the map, and control enemies. At first I thought that the cap was going to be overused and you'd rarely get to play as Mario, but that wasn't the case at all. Throughout the game you find new enemies that possess different skills that are crucial to advancing, but you still have plenty of time to play as that red Italian plumber we all know and love. The game really allows you to play at your own pace, which is really nice. There's no need to collect every single moon in every world unless you really want to. If you don't want to 100% the game right away, you can do what I did. Collect the bare minimum amount of moons to advance, then come back later. The one thing I would have to dock this game on would be the movement. There were times where, in my opinion, the motion was not very fluent and felt a bit choppy. The motion controls used to control Cappy at times frustrated me with not performing the action I wanted. But after you get the hang of it, it's not that big of an issue. The returning movements such as climbing poles and long jumping are very familiar and something that players already know. The movements such as cap jumping really do add an entirely new way to move in the game. The story of the game is one of the best I've seen. Although I'm not a professional game reviewer, the game's story flowed nice and I was able to understand easily what was going on, even when I decided not to stop and talk to every character I saw along the way. The story does leave a few things to the imagination, but that's not all bad. In most platformer games, I'm not worried about the story at all, but in Super Mario Odyssey's more open style, it fit the game very nicely. Even though I said earlier how I did not prefer the movement of this game at first, the mechanics were a strong suit. Almost every mechanic that doesn't include Cappy you are probably already familiar with from past Mario games going all the way back to Super Mario 64. My favorite mechanic, if you can call it that, used throughout the game would be the use of the 8-bit Mario game hidden within levels. At first I thought I was only going to get to use this mechanic once or twice, but it occurred throughout the game and in my opinion it was awesome that Nintendo did this. Another strong point of the game was the boss fights. Each one was a new challenge, but they were made with the player's tolerance level in mind, enough to frustrate me but not to the point where I wanted to throw my controller against the wall. The boss fights were so good that Nintendo decided to use them all twice. It really felt like Nintendo could have came up with completely new patterns for each boss instead of just making them a little more challenging. Even at that, the boss fights still remain a strong point of the game. So overall, what do I rate the game? Gameplay, 5 out of 5. Mechanics, 5 out of 5. Story, 5 out of 5. Music, 5 out of 5. But movement, I have to give it a 4.5 out of 5, just because of how weird the game felt to me at first. The overall score, 10 out of 10. This game is definitely worth its $60 price tag and deserves a 10 out of 10, even with the movement feeling a bit off at first. The developers and design team definitely put their hardest work into this game, and I would go as far as saying it's the best Mario game made in my opinion. I've already put 8 hours into the game and have streamed all of it so far, and I plan to continue streaming until I get 100% on the game. If you want to watch the stream, you can enable notifications or follow my Twitch channel at the link in the video description. You can purchase Super Mario Odyssey on the Nintendo eShop or at any major retailers if they aren't sold out. If you enjoyed this review of Super Mario Odyssey, consider joining the NintenZone by subscribing, join my Discord down below, and thank you all for watching.